This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I really can't. John, look, it's been one of these weeks. I've been dying to... Susie!
I'm not coming!
You need to come here right
I'm
now.
Not coming.
Okay, let's just take a minute. First. Hi. Welcome, Edith. Thank you for coming back.
I'm telling you, we're struggling.
Yeah, well, why don't I go see if I can get Susie to come in, and then we'll get to talking, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Give me just 1 second. Susie, friend, you want to come in and join us?
As long as I don't have to sit near her.
Well, there are other chairs. Feel free.
Good,
All
fine.
right. Okay. Come
It's
on.
nice that you listen to him and not, me, your mom.
Well,
That's nice.
she wants to establish her independence, but more importantly, remember we talked about how important it is to be supportive of her choices as we're here. So if she wants to sit somewhere else, I think it's okay for right now, right?
I think that's best. We had a very rough week.
Did you? All right.
Very
Well, why
rough
don't we spend the first few minutes doing a quick check-in? Are you okay with that?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Do I have no choice?
You do actually. So, are you okay with us checking in?
Fine.
Okay. So, Edith, you're okay with me taking notes as always?
Always.
Awesome. Why don't we write this down?
Sometimes I feel like we should
take
take video because when we're here, it's a different kid when I get home. I'm telling you, it's crazy, John.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
You know
And
who
you
used
keep
to tell
pushing
me
me
that?
out. And you keep pushing me away.
You know who used to tell me that?
Who?
My mom. Guess where she is now? Prison. So I don't.
But
wanna
I'm
talk about
here. And I'm not going anywhere.
Mhm.
And you keep pushing me away.
Mhm.
I don't
Okay.
know what else to do.
Okay. So, I think it's important that we start off by establishing a couple of light boundaries. Okay. So we're going to put our one person talks and everyone else listens rule into place, which means when it's mom's turn to talk about what's going on, then mom
There's
gets to
the
talk.
thing. Thank God I remember. When we have this, I keep forgetting when you
We
name
can
this.
use the stick if you want to.
Yes, because it worked last time.
And when Susie is talking, Mom, it's going to be really important that we not only listen, but that we listen and that we're supportive. Okay? All right?
John,
Yes.
you don't have to talk and stuff.
Well, you're right. You're right about that. Touche, I guess. May I continue?
Yes.
Awesome. Edith, fill me in. Why don't you give me a rundown?
This week has been a struggle. I think, Susie has been doing really good. And, we've been with our ups and downs. But as you know, we've been talking about the adoption coming closer. They finally gave us a date.
Yeah. When's your date for your adoption?
August 26th.
And August 26th, isn't that somewhere around the anniversary of when you brought her in as a
Yeah.
foster child? So how long's that been now?
It's going to be, I think, 3 years.
3 years?
hmm So I understand that it's hard for her because she just became aware that, her mom signed off on allowing me to do that. And I feel like she's mad at me because of where we are. I try to talk to her. She doesn't talk to me. She's every other word is a F-bomb. Then I'm talking to her and yes, I'm talking about you. She's slamming the door, punching the door, throwing her
Punching?
shoes. She made a hole in the door. This is the second
With
time.
her fist?
With
you're
her
saying?
fist.
Mhm.
The first time she threw her shoe, and it made like a hole because her heels. Her always wearing heels. And then now it was with the door. Her hand. She got so mad, and it's like, wow, is that you want to hit me? Like, is that why you're hitting the door? So it's just been hard to communicate. I feel like every time I'm saying something to her, I feel like I'm a target. Like, she can't stand me. I love this girl, and I'm sorry that your mom wasn't there, and I'm sorry that all this is happening.
Remember, focus it on me so you're talking to me.
I'm
remember?
sorry for all those
That's
things.
okay.
If it was in my control, I would love it to be a perfect world for her, but I want to give her what she didn't have.
Totally understood. I think that's a great point. Thank you for sharing that with me. It's a great point to transition. I'm going to hand this to you, friend. Why don't you tell me about this past week?
I don't know.
You don't know?
You have a lot to say in the house.
Remember, Mom.
Sorry.
Remember, Mom.
Sorry.
I have a talking stick.
It's Susie's turn to talk. So, Susie, why don't you just tell me what you do remember?
I remember, I don't know, stuff, I guess.
Okay. Anything you can think of? How about tell me 3 things that happened at school this past week?
We had pizza
Mm-hmm.
on Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
and tacos on Tuesday, but I'm gonna count that as one thing.
Okay.
Linda, that's my science teacher, not my friend.
You
She-
call her Linda?
Yeah, not
That's
to her
very
face.
forward thinking of you.
I know.
Mm.
Not to her face. We had a quiz. I didn't like that.
Mm.
And then.
Tell them about the gummy. Sorry.
And
tell 'em about the
then.
gummy.
Can I interrupt you just 1 second? Oh, I'm
Would
sorry.
you
I didn't
like
mean
this?
to. I was going to take
Thank
this.
you.
Yes.
I'm
I
sorry.
think it's very important, again, that we try to remember that Susie needs to be heard and that we need to listen to Susie. It's her time to be heard, okay?
I'm sorry.
I get that you're feeling some strong emotions right now, but we're going to try to focus on Susie, and I promise, just like always, you and I are going to have our time to
Okay.
sort of meet up, okay? Sorry, please continue. So,
Then
pizza
pizza.
and tacos, which is one thing,
Yeah.
and then science teacher and quiz,
Mm-hmm.
which you didn't like. And the third thing, tell me.
I don't know, just a lot of yelling on mom's part. I mean, like, imagine this at home, but like 10 times worse. That's how she is.
So you're saying that this past week was tough for you at home? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, how about when you and I meet in a few minutes, we can maybe see if you want to talk about it a little more?
Yeah, you can
Because-
give that to mom maybe. She
Oh.
wants to talk some more. You can see it on her face.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna give this back to you, and yeah,
Can I just tell you what my concerns are?
let me just suggest one thing. I don't want to cut you off. Are you able to communicate sort of honestly, and are you able to speak in a way that's not going to be detrimental to
I
Susie?
think so.
Okay.
I'm gonna try my hardest
All right.
because that's not my intent.
Because remember,
I
we
just-
want everyone here to feel safe. And
I just
respected.
don't want to walk away because I know how our sessions go, and
Mm.
then, I want to respect her privacy, but I really want you to know what's really been going on in the house.
Mhm,
So I'm happy that she talked about everything that happened in school,
mhm.
but the fact that she left out that I found a gummy in her bag,
A gummy?
yeah, a marijuana gummy. She almost got in trouble, and
That's
supposedly
not
she
what it
didn't even.
was.
Supposedly she doesn't even know how it got there, so I was
Mhm.
very concerned about that.
Mhm,
And then, she's just every other word. Like, she's never talked to me like that.
mhm,
How did we get there?
mhm.
I just, so I'm just concerned about those things. Do I think my daughter has a problem? No. I don't know if she's just all of a sudden, it's just been this week.
Yeah.
This week it's been crazy. And I know there's a lot of dates.
Well, let's see.
triggers.
Let's pull the lens back a little bit, and let's think about what life might be like for her right now. She's got a lot going on at school. She
still
still
here,
has
just
to deal
so.
with. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And not to interrupt, but first, touche, you don't have the talking stick.
Okay.
Second of all, I would never say anything about you that I wouldn't say to you.
I just wanted to remind you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
She's lovely.
there's a lot going on at school right now. Quiz. She's got some. She still has to deal with all that regular school stuff. And let's see what else is happening. We've got the potential adoption coming up soon.
I know the notification of her
Mhm.
mom signing off was hard.
Mm.
But John, I've always been an open book.
Mhm.
I don't lie to her about everything or
No, I think it's
anything.
important to be honest
And
with
I
your
wanted
children,
her to
yeah.
know the minute I got it. I didn't even know how to tell her,
Mhm.
but maybe the way I told her,
We can work a little bit on our time together on finding ways to, present things that are developmentally appropriate, for her age. I know that as adults, we oftentimes just want to say, "Oh, I'm so happy, I want to celebrate because I got this fantastic news." But as a younger person, and with her only being 11, we sometimes have to temper things the way that we say them. Does that make sense to you?
She does.
It does. All right, so you know how it goes. Our sessions, this is the part where we checked in, and it sounds to me like there's been a little bit of trouble this week. I don't want to use the term trouble as anything bad, but a little bit of disruption this week. And you know that it's standard for, at this point, me to ask you to sort of
Yep.
take some time for yourself. You might have a little bit that you want to prepare for ahead of our next, maybe some things to think about from what you've already heard. And I'm going to talk to Susie for a while,
Okay.
and then in about 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, I'll bring you back. And
Can I
we'll-
just say one thing before I
Sure,
walk away?
tell me.
I love you. I love you.
That's nice.
And I know it's been a rough week
Mm-hmm.
for you. It's been a rough week for me, but I love you, and I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Here, John.
Thank you so much.
I just gotta get my shoes because,
Okay.
you know.
Oh, not
You gonna
much.
be all right out there? There's some water in the lobby in
Yeah,
the
I'm
little
gonna just
refrigerator
listen
out
to
there.
the lighting, you know,
Mhm.
the music and the. I'll be fine.
Okay. So now that Mom is left, we need to reestablish our boundaries. Do we need this talking stick anymore?
No.
No. Okay. Can I put it on the sensory shelf?
Yeah.
Awesome. So.
I'm so glad she's out of here.
Yeah. Talk to me. Tell me about it.
She's just been getting on my nerves, this woman.
Yeah.
She's all, do this, do that, do this, do that. Like, I don't already have a mom. I don't need two.
I heard two big things right there. First of all, give me some clarification. Mom says, do this, do that, do this, do that. What is Mom saying that's...
Just a lot of like, oh, your room's not clean the way I would like it. I
Mm.
told you to pick up after school. This is why I do it myself, because it's not, and then nobody ever does it the way I want it. Like, I'm sorry I even bothered to help out.
Mhm.
And I shouldn't even need to help out. This isn't my house.
Mhm.
I have a home.
I'm going to pause you right there. Do you remember how pretty recently, when you first came in here, we talked a little bit about like deep breathing and relaxation, and we talked about ways for you to sort of steady yourself in the moment, and we talked about how because you've been through so much, because you of that trauma that you had seen with your mom getting arrested, that a lot of times you have these feelings that might be a little bit overwhelming. Do you remember?
I guess so.
Okay. And then we talked about ways for you to sort of relax.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started talking about what those feelings might look like and feel like in your body. Do you remember?
A little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to pick up from there. Think about how you feel on the inside. Can you give me a name for how you're feeling right now?
I can give you some, like a few.
Okay, tell me what emotions, what feelings are you having
I
right now?
feel angry
Angry. How do I know you feel angry?
because I was kind of yelling a little bit.
You were yelling. What else about you, if I'm looking at you, says you're angry?
My face.
In your face? What about your face?
It's kind of, I don't know, angry looking. Scrunchy.
Scrunchy
I think
is-
the word we talked about.
Scrunchy, we did mention. I saw it kind of right through your nose a little bit.
Mhm.
And give me one more thing that's going to help me understand that you're angry.
I don't know the words I use.
The
I
words
guess.
you use? So the words that you use, or is it the words themselves, do you think?
A little bit of both, maybe.
What's the other thing to make it both?
Because sometimes I use not nice words, and
Mhm.
sometimes I will just say that I'm angry.
No, so sometimes you're just saying it and sometimes it's a thing.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like you understand, you want me to understand rather, that when you're yelling, when you're using a loud voice, and that when you got that scrunchy face going on, and you're using words that may not be nice, that you want me to know you're angry. Deal, got it. Tell me something though. What is that feeling like in your body right now?
Hot
It's feeling hot. And where are you feeling that heat there, friend?
in my head
Mm-hmm.
and in my chest,
Yeah.
and sometimes in my fist.
Oh, in your fist.
Mostly when they go through the bedroom door.
Is you feeling like that wants to happen a little bit more than it should, or a little bit more than
Well,
could be?
well, Edith says it probably shouldn't happen at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, I mean, try to act like she's never punched her fist through a door. Let's be real.
Well, let me ask you a question there, Susie. You came in here and said that you were angry because Edith was saying, "Oh, you're not doing what I want. You're not doing what I want. You're not doing what I want." And again, you just said to me that Edith said it probably shouldn't happen at all.
I
But
know
what
she's
is-
full of demands.
Well, what I want to know is what Susie think.
Susie thinks that, I don't know, that Edith shouldn't be so hard on me.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot. I go to school
Mm-hmm.
from like 7 to 3 every day,
Mm-hmm.
And then she wants me to do gymnastics and dance and pick up my room and pick up the living room before she gets home. And I know she works, but school is basically work. You get that, right?
Sure. I did a lot of school.
I know. It's like
today.
I go and I do a lot of school, and while she's at work, which is like basically work, and then she picks me up and she takes me to all these other things that I don't really want to do, but we talked about how it's good for me to make friends and have, all that stuff, and I get that, but I do a lot. And then she's like, do your homework and pick up the living room, and I have a lot going on.
Well, I'm hearing again a lot of she wants and she says and she this and she that and she expects so much from me. It sounds to me like you've got another feeling in there. Can you kind of maybe pull a word in there?
Can you help me?
I sure can. There's a word. Now, if I was to look at you, I might hear your voice getting more quick. I might hear your words sound a little bit like you're panicking, or they're coming a little bit faster. Your body language is getting a little bit tense, and it sounds to me like you're affected by a lot that's going on. Can you
I think you said that was anxious.
Anxious is a good word, yeah. And what does anxious feel like for you? I told you what I thought I saw, but what does it feel like for you?
It feels like fuzzy everywhere.
Fuzzy everywhere.
Yeah, and my toes and my fingers and my head, and sometimes like dizzy when it's in my head.
Yeah.
When the fuzzy's in my head.
So you have to be fuzzy and dizzy too?
In my head,
Yeah.
it feels like dizzy, but in my fingers it feels fuzzy.
That's a lot going on over there, Susie. That's got to be.
And it hurts in here.
Yeah, it hurts like physical pain?
Yeah, it's like kind of tight. Like, like right before you cry
Yeah.
and it hurts.
Yeah.
It feels like that, but like all the time.
Does anxious make you want to cry?
Yeah, but so does mad.
Yeah.
I cry a lot.
Yeah. And what happens after you cry? How do you feel after you cry?
Better.
Better.
Yeah.
So, would you believe me if I told you that I think that crying is a pretty good way sometimes to deal with things, but it's a pretty hard road. Like, imagine having to cry all the time to let that pressure out.
I know, but
That-
everybody's always making me cry all the time.
Well, how about we work on some things, work on some ways for you to kind of get those feelings out and to kind of help you understand how people are making you feel as well.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. I want to touch base with you
Mhm.
on some things. You said something earlier that caught my ear, and I'm hoping maybe we can talk about it a little more.
Mhm.
You said that Edith wasn't your mom. You've been calling her Edith, like, throughout the session. So, and that came right after Edith said that, your mom had signed off for you for adoption so that Edith could adopt you. I mean, after 3 years, that's what she was working for. So, do you want to talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, my mom signed the papers, but that's only because they made her do it.
Who's
I mean,
they?
the people at DCF, they
Mhm.
told her that she had to.
Mm.
That's what she told me when I talked to her the last time.
Wait, so you talked to, I'm going to distinguish, so to make sure we're on the same
Edith.
page, Mom and Edith, okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Okay.
So you talked to Edith or you talked to Mom?
I talked to Mom.
You did.
And Mom said that DCF made Edith sign and made her sign, basically saying that Edith wants me and my mom doesn't. But that's not true because my mom wants me, and when she gets out, we're gonna be fine. But then Edith's at home saying, nobody made me do anything, your mom, and you are, basically I'm never gonna see my mom again, is what she said. I mean, those weren't the words she used, but that's like basically what she said.
And do you think she's telling the truth?
No, because my mom's gonna come home and we're gonna live together. Edith's not my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, temporary living.
She's temporary living?
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you're saying that the minute mom gets out, you're gonna just kind of pack your bags and go back and live with mom.
Yep.
That's got to be a big choice. That's got to be a big thing to kind of get ready for.
Yeah.
But I'd love to sort of go back to some things connected to that.
Okay.
You say that Edith is your temporary place to stay.
Yeah.
I've heard you call her mom in the past.
Well, that was when she was nicer to me, and when, I wanted to be there. But now that I'm gonna go back. I know I'm gonna go back to my mom's house.
Mm.
So before I didn't know, but my mom told me that I'm gonna go back.
Mhm.
So I don't want to get all excited that I'm gonna stay with Edith forever, just so that way DCF can come and take me back to my mom. I want to be with my mom too. But
I hear you. I think it's important we talk one more time, just to remember the sort of events as to how you wound up with Edith. Can you tell me about that? Or
my mom did bad things, but she's not a bad person.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying she's a bad person. We're just talking about the things that happen. Remember, we're working too towards you telling sort of this story. So I hope you've been practicing your dance moves for your trauma narrative, because you were very clear in telling me that you were going to dance this thing out at the end.
Can I just wait to tell you then?
You can. Yeah, we'll work more towards that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it today, because if I say that she's a bad person, that means I get to stay with Edith, but I'm probably not going to get to stay with Edith. So I don't want to say it until it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like you're a little bit torn.
Yeah. No. Because I'm supposed to be with my mom. That's what she told me.
Well, yeah, no. Tell me about that. You were, yeah, no. I think you
because
might have a little bit of a different perspective on the inside.
Edith has a really nice house, and every Friday night she cooks steak, and it's like real good steak, like with the pepper and the butter and the salt. And like sometimes she brings me flowers for a recital, and that's really nice. But like, my mom's my mom.
Well, why do you think Edith does those things for you?
Because when I don't know, she's trying to make herself look good.
For who?
I don't know, DCF and me, I guess.
So she brings you flowers after you dance, and she makes you your favorite steak every Friday just to look at.
It's not my favorite steak.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you said it was, but
no,
you said it was delicious.
It's my favorite
With
steak, but she doesn't make it
because
because it's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But she makes the steak with the pepper and the butter and the salt every Friday because of DCF?
Well, because that's what she wants to cook, but it also looks good for DCF, I think. Because DCF comes and they're like, oh, she eats enough food.
If they're coming for every Friday, sounds like they're coming for the steak and not necessarily the case.
John, is it time for me? Yeah, I'm sorry. I lost my phone died. I just didn't want to be late.
We'll come get you.
Okay.
I promise you.
Okay.
I promise.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Nope. She's not gonna come in.
Are we gonna do your thing that you talked about?
We are. Yep. As a matter of fact, we're getting right there. We have an activity to do today, and it's something new. So I'm going to share this with you, and then we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how you are going to tell me a story about what's really underneath all of this, and we're going to try to get to some of your true feelings about how you feel.
You're pulling the story back out.
I am. Well, but listen. So I brought you some colored markers, and what's awesome about these markers is that they're different colors on each end. Okay, so you've got a variety of different colors here, and I'm going to connect it back to what we're talking about, what we've been talking about. So these are now not just colors, these are emotions. Okay, so your task is going to be very simple. We're going to do an activity, and it's called Show Me How You Feel.
Okay.
So you can see right here, I've got the box for the colors and the box for the emotion. And I've got this outline of a person right here, and I've got this statement, and do you want to tell me what that question says?
Who is this person? How do you feel about them?
Because by the end of this activity, you are going to have thought about we're gonna go with Edith today.
So I'm coloring in
So
Edith.
you're gonna color in Edith.
And how I put the colors where Edith makes me feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Any way that you see
Not
it.
not how Edith feels.
No,
Because
this is
I
about
don't
you.
know how Edith feels.
You're absolutely right, and we can talk about that
When
with
she
Edith
comes
as
back.
part of it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the activity, Susie, really simple. The very first thing I want you to do you see these colors right here, these
Yeah.
circles?
You want me to pick
I want you
colors
to-
and feelings?
Mm-hmm. Pick colors. So I see you choosing red.
Mhm.
You'll color in the circle with red.
Okay.
And then I want you to write down next to it how it makes you, how red would be. Oh, you're jumping right to the coloring.
Can I put colors on top of colors?
You can do anything you want. This is you.
It's not the right color.
That's okay. The cap tells you too. Oh, going for purple. And purple is sad. And
I made them
anxious.
one.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel them at the same time.
Kind of feels the same to you.
Yeah, because I usually just cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sad and anxious in a lot of ways are tied together.
I do. There's a lot of colors.
That you have all the choices
She
that you
makes
want.
me feel a lot of things.
Well, it's important to understand that, right?
I made those the smallest because I feel it was the least. And then I have to fill this out.
Well, first, are you done?
Do you want to look at it?
Well, sure, but are you finished? I don't want to rush you, so if you need more time, feel free.
I think I'm done.
Okay, so do you want to explain it to me?
You
Do
really
it.
want to know?
Of course I do. Why do you think we're here?
Okay.
Well, first, let's hold it like this so that I can kind of look at it and you can kind of look at it at the same time.
Okay.
So, why don't you tell me all about it?
I picked red for mad because the mad emoji is red.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I picked, and I did in my head and in my ears because when I get mad, my ears get really hot,
Mhm.
and then the mad thoughts are in my brain, so that's where I put them. And then in my hands because I hit things sometimes.
Mhm.
And then I did sad and anxious is the same because I cry when I get nervous.
Mhm.
And I put it in my belly and my feet and my hands because that's where all the tingles are. And then I
Mhm.
put dots in my brain because it's dizzy up there.
Mhm.
And then I put love because like sometimes Edith's okay,
Mhm.
but I made it really smart and I put it where my heart is because that's where you're supposed to feel love.
Mhm.
That's what I don't know everybody says at school. And then I did happy and then put a smiley face because like we're not always fighting with each other. But I did
Mhm.
that small too because we fight with each other more than we're happy.
Mhm.
At least lately.
So, you're saying all of this happens because of your relationship with Edith?
Yeah.
All of this happens?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks to me like there's some stuff going on. You're anxious about some things, and it looks to me that you get mad about some things, and it looks to me like you feel love, and it looks to me like you feel happy.
Mhm.
Can I tell you that all of these things happen with lots of kids and their parents, lots of kids and their grandparents?
But I
Lots
don't.
of
I
kids
don't
and their
feel that. I
caregivers.
don't feel that way about my room, Mom.
No?
No.
Well, guess what I have here? Ta-da! I have another chart. Why don't we do another one, and then we can compare the two?
Can we do this with Edith?
Do you want to bring her in and do it? Do you want to explain that sometimes, or how she makes you
I'll
feel?
tell her. I'll tell her mine, and I bet it's gonna make her mad. So then I'll have her do hers about me.
Okay, we
Can
can
we
do
do
that.
that?
Sure, we
Okay.
can. Oh, let me just go grab her. Edith, do you want to come on in? Edith, it's your time.
No problem.
Edith, you've been so patient. So,
Hi, my Susie.
You
Edith,
said hi, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
We-
you said hi.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have a thing. Hi, my Susie.
We don't need that.
okay.
Well, keep it because she might need it later. But
'Kay.
we're good right now.
All right. So, Edith, I just want to kind of catch you up on what Susie and I talked about today. You know how I explained to you that a big part of what Edith and, it's not Edith, Susie. Geez, so I'm going to do it with you too. But Susie and I have been talking about
Well, I
is
talk to you all the time. I
you
have you
don't.
crazy.
Mhm.
So,
What Susie and I are going to talk about is kind of how she feels and help her understand that connection between how she feels and where it is in her body and kind of what that looks like to her so that we can find ways to help her express that better. Do you remember we talked about it like
I think it was the third week. We started talking
yeah,
about
sometimes
that.
when she gets mad, you might see like a fist through a bedroom door, you know, so that we can eventually show her that there are better choices. So today we did something called Show Me How You Feel, and we started this activity, and I asked her to choose these colors, and I asked her to identify an emotion that went with it. So she chose red for mad, and she chose sad and anxious for blue, and purple was love, and orange was happy. And then I asked her to think about you, and to think about all of the different things that she feels and how she reacts to you and where she sort of feels that things. And so I'm going to have you look at this, and I'm going to have Susie explain it to you. What's going to be most important is that you listen to what she has to say and that you're supportive of what she's saying to you. Okay? So I understand that you might have a strong reaction inside, but again, we're here to be supportive and we're here to work together. Okay? So go ahead and explain.
So I'm much prettier than this, but this is what we used. I did red for mad because, you know, emojis, and blue for sad because emojis. This is actually pink, but it kind of looks purple, but it's supposed to be pink because, you know, hearts. And then orange is happy. So I did my hands and my head and my ears as mad because you always say my ears get real red when I'm mad, so that's what I did. And in my head, because that's where
So that's
all
how it
the-
make you feel more mad than anything else?
I'm not done. I'm starting at the top of the list.
Okay. I'm
Listen.
sorry. Okay.
Do you need the talking stick?
Remember, we're going to focus. Remember, on our...
And then I put blue in my hands and my stomach and my feet because they're tingly, and then blue in my head because when I get anxious, I feel a little dizzy. And then I put love, but I put it in my heart because that's where love is supposed to be. And it's small because usually you're just mad at me, so that makes me mad at you. And then I put a smile because sometimes you make me happy because you're not like always mad at me, and you know, but usually you're mad at me. So, but I think I asked John if you could do it for me, so that way I know how you feel about me.
Can I just say something?
So I think it's important first that you address her question. She's asked you for something directly, so give her
Okay, I do it.
okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing for you. I'm going to, can I have these?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing for you. You have a variety of colors. What I would love for you to do is to choose a color paired with an emotion and put it here. And then sort of when you think about Susie, what are you feeling? Because a lot of times with younger children, they need more concrete examples, right? Their brains don't think as abstractly as ours do. So I think that this might be helpful. And if I can say something really positive, of all of the things that she said with the tingling and all of that, remember there's love in there too. There's happiness in there too. So it's not all bad, friend. It's not. We're gonna make it. Okay? Do you want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Can I figure with the talking stick? I promise I
You
won't talk.
can do whatever you need to. The sensory shelf, remember, like we talked about, is here for you anytime you need to. You don't even have to ask. You can take what you need to. The only thing that's not there this week that's different, the marbles needed to be cleaned, so I brought them home and silly me.
I don't like the marbles on this.
No,
It's
well,
okay. Just really getting into it over there.
she is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk.
No, you're talking
that
to
was
me.
rude.
Well, thank you for acknowledging that.
You're welcome.
I think that's Very nice of you. I think you did a great job on your picture. And I think that,
The art teacher said that I should be an advanced art.
oh really?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into middle school, you're going to take advanced art.
Yeah, instead of doing art and chorus and study, I'll just do art and study.
Yeah? You're looking forward to that?
I think so, yeah.
Do you know that art is a great way too? When you feel all stressed out and you're feeling your fists like you want to put them through the wall or you want to put them through the door, did you know that a fist is almost the same shape as you holding a pencil? So maybe when you start to feel that fist curl up a little bit, you can think about picking up a pencil instead.
I don't think Mom's listening. Edith is listening. But
Okay.
if she is, I really would like it if she let me paint on the bedroom walls, whatever I wanted. I wouldn't do anything inappropriate.
Well, I think
Like
that
a mural maybe, like a jungle or flowers, big flowers, or
well-
the ocean.
what if, for homework, when you felt stressed out or you felt tingly or fuzzy because of what Edith says to you, what if you picked up that pencil and you took all of that, and you tried to push it out through that pencil and you drew a picture of exactly what you wanted on your bedroom wall? So that when you went to Edith, you could say, this is what I was thinking, and you could work together on something. Maybe it's just an idea. Edith, are you all done?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to explain to the two of us? Thank you.
John and my Susie. So I had 4 feelings about you.
What can you show us the
So the first one is green, and you make me feel complete. You, all of you, even when it's hard. And then the fuchsia, I'm calling it fuchsia.
your show?
Okay. You make me happy when skies are gray. You really do. Even though it's been a rough week. But you really do. The black is the biggest thing because you make me feel like a mom. You know I've always talked to you, and I know you're young. I've never been able to have my own children, give birth to my own children. So I will never feel the connection you have to your mom. But I hope that I could be the next best thing because you make me feel like your mom. I feel like your mother. And then this orange, I'm not gonna lie to you, I put it in your head because I feel like I get frustrated sometimes with what you say more than what you do. Because, I know I'm not your mom. I know I didn't make you, but in my heart, I'm your mom. But I also have to be respectful of you and what that means to you. That I don't know if that's what you want. I don't know how you feel about that. And I know I've been thinking a lot. Because I was upset when I first came here, John. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been a rough week. While I was sitting there, I was saying to myself, I'm so happy that finally, your mom was able to release the stuff that I needed so that way I can adopt you and I can be complete. But it's not only about me. I'm forgetting about what that does for you and how that makes you feel.
I think that was beautifully expressed. And I think you well addressed the question, who is this person to you and how does she make you feel? I'm going to come back to you. Is there anything you want to add?
I don't know. You make me angry sometimes.
That's okay.
You always are telling me what to do. I need a break.
Tell her more about the break. Tell her more about what you might need. Let's practice better yet. Let's try to practice those I statements. Do you remember I statements? Where you make 1-sentence statements about things that you think are important, you believe you need, or that would make your life, or this journey rather, a little easier.
I need space. Should I say need or want?
Well, do you need space or do you want space?
I think both. but
Oh.
I don't know because I've never had it.
Okay, so
Sometimes,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to grab my notebook here and I'm going to write these things down because I think when we come back together in all of our future sessions, we might be able to spend a couple of minutes talking about it, and it'll be something that you're able to talk about too. So, Susie, you said I need and want space. What else? Give me 2 more.
2 more? It's a lot. I need you to follow through. Do you want me to explain that?
yes.
We're doing some very big things here, so if there's something specific you could give her, just one
Like
thing somewhere to start.
One instance or one
No.
time
I need you to follow through on
promises.
promises.
Like what promises?
Like if you tell me that we're gonna go to Six Flags on the weekend, and then you tell me not every day is exciting, that hurts my feelings because I thought we were gonna spend time together, but then we would go to work.
Number 3.
I need. I don't know. That's a hard one. Can Mom do one that she needs?
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing that with her and with me. That was probably a lot for you. I can see it in your face that it was a lot for you. So I think I have a pretty good idea of how you feel, but I'm not the expert on you. You are. So why don't you tell me, how are you feeling right now? Can you name it for me?
Anxious.
You're feeling anxious?
Mm-hmm.
And are you feeling fuzzy and dizzy and physical?
Yeah, I feel tight in my chest.
Okay, so we're gonna do a really quick breathing exercise, remember,
And then we can leave.
and then you can leave. It's only a couple of minutes.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right, so remember when we talked about deep breathing, we said we were gonna breathe into the nose and we were gonna breathe out through the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, we're gonna walk through the process again. So just like always, left hand on the belly.
Do you want me to hold your hand?
I'd like you to do it with us.
Okay.
Let's everybody do it together. Left hand on the belly. Like always, get comfy. Feet on the floor. Nice and relaxed. Perfect. Left hand on the belly. Right hand on the chest. And remember, our goal is to make the belly move and not the chest. So one more time, just to walk you through it. And Mom, just so you remember, because we talked about this.
Week 1.
Yeah. We're going to breathe in through our nose to fill.
Our belly.
And we're not going to fill our chest, so we're going to fill our belly. Really breathing it deep down. And we're going to exhale super slowly to the count of 4. Out through our mouth. So it's going to look like this. In. Filling that belly. So it feels like you just ate a big plate of that steak with the butter and the salt. And out slowly through the mouth to the count of 4.
I love to see you smile and laugh.
We ready to try? Let's do
Yeah.
5 breaths.
5.
In. Filling that belly, good job. And out through the mouth. In through the nose, breath 2. Filling that belly, filling that belly, filling that belly, filling that belly. Come all the way out, good job. And out through the mouth. I know it feels
These
a little
make
silly.
me feel silly.
Yeah. In through the nose for breath 3. Push that belly way out there, fill that belly. And then out through the mouth. Mom, how we doing?
I think I'm gonna have asthma.
2 more to
Rough
go.
day.
2 more, let's stay focused, let's stay
Okay.
focused. Good job, Susie. 2 more, ready? Into the nose. Feeling that belly full. Your belly's full of air out through the mouth. I want you to really kind of exaggerate this one. I want to hear your breath. Okay, last one. You can do it. Let's stay calm.
Asking a lot of me, John.
Then you do it any way you want. Into the nose. Out through the mouth to the count of 4. Feeling that belly come in slowly. Great job, Susie. Susie, how's your anxiety? How you
Now I
feeling?
feel like I blew up a balloon, but I
Oh.
think it's from all the breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you feeling fuzzy or dizzy or feeling any sort of
Dizzy,
pain?
but like I blew up a balloon.
Oh,
not
you
because
did?
I'm anxious.
Good job. Can I just tell you, how proud I am of you again today for the hard work that you did. Think about how you came in here and how upset you were, and think about how you are now, nice and calm. I see two totally different versions of you. So, what do you think that you can try this week for when you're feeling those dizzies or those hurts, or when mom gets you mad and you're feeling hot? I'm sorry, when Edith gets you mad in the head and mad in the ears.
I can tell Edith that I need space,
Mhm.
and maybe I can draw or something.
That'd be a good thing for you to try. And Edith, what do you think the most important thing for you to kind of be on the lookout when it comes to Susie's emotional state? What sorts of ways can you be supportive?
Or be aware.
Mm-hmm.
I need to start recognizing maybe when we need to just maybe breathe like we just did,
Mm-hmm.
giving her space.
Mm-hmm. And really quickly, give me one example, one time you might say, let's try our breathing.
And
I
then-
think maybe if we are having, like if we just had a heated argument,
Mm-hmm.
when I give her space,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just knock on her door and I'll ask her if she wants to do some relaxing exercise with me.
Perfect.
The
And if
breathing.
she says no,
I'll walk away. That's
Okay.
the space, right, John?
that is
Okay.
perfect example. And you said I know, so can you tell me?
Oh, I was gonna say, I said after. I was gonna say after. Can we go home because I'm ready to go home.
Oh yeah, we're probably pretty much out of time anyway.
I think so.
Okay, well, will I see you next week?
You
As
know you have
always.
us for 20 weeks.
I still like to ask because it's about options and choice. What about you? Will I
She's
see you
my
next
ride,
week?
so-
Well, I guess if she comes here.
I gotta have to come.
All right. Listen, thank you again. We'll see you both next week, okay?
Okay.
Awesome days.
I'm happy we're leaving better than the way we came in.
Yes,
so
me
that's
too.
good.